Good morning YouTube, I hope you guys are well. It is day 7 of my training block. Today is the last day, so fatigue is pretty high at this point. Tomorrow I shut it down completely, complete rest day and then 2 active recovery days. That concludes my 10-day training block and I will start all over again. So it's the last one. I'm gonna start off with a easy 3K swim with some technique, really super important that I keep that easy. Recover a bit, then after. Then we're gonna hit the track. There I take you guys with. Will be a little bit difficult to film on my own, you know how it is. So in the morning I just had my breakfast, a big bowl of porridge and yeah, now some more coffee, get that one in for the last day. Only have coffee in the morning, actually quite a bit now. Then yeah, in the morning, my routines, I have my little journaling that I do. Then I have a look at what my athletes are doing. I'll always in the morning respond to things if they are, check in with those, see what they did in detail. One thing I did for sure learn is that even the easy sessions you have to fuel, especially when you're towards the end of the week, and glycogen depletion and more glycogen than overall calories is the main limiter. So even easy swim like this, it's going to take me an hour with the technique and things, plus warm up, dry land warm up. During these sessions I don't need it, but especially for that run later I need to make sure I'm topped up on glycogen as much as I can, because there will be already quite a bit of fatigue in the body of course. As you can see, I completely forget running outside because the ice is melting right now, sliding around, so we'll be all on the track later the run. Swim now, good aerobic set. So the drills with me, they always change over time, so when I learn something new I will put it into the program, but right now it's something I focus a lot on: kick timing, kick rhythm. That's one. A couple of things from Popovic, the runner, something that really helped me with the front and catch part. There's a drill in there, so trying them out because I have a pretty good perception and I kind of know when I swim normally afterwards, does it help me or not? Always adjusting, learning. Good swim. This one definitely felt a lot better than in the first block, for example. Probably mainly calorie intake. I changed some things with my snacks, but olive oil and also some cheese and those kind of things. And did a bit more nutrition during training and I could feel the difference a lot. So it's really good, even at the end of the block, because it's only block 2 at this moment. So early days. Did just get a notification on my phone that something has been delivered to the local mail here. I hope it is what I think it is, but let's go check it out. False alert, not yet there, but it will be there in the afternoon. I hope that will be really good. Alrighty guys, we are back for lunch. What we got here is some simple rice, but not the white rice. It has some oats in it, I think. It's a bit better for the gut for me. Some proteins, minced meat. Sometimes people say, okay, with red meat you do struggle on the run with high intensity and stuff. I have a strong aerobic run, but I didn't really seem that to be true that much, to be honest. And then we got half avocado here for fat, quite a bit of olive oil actually. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 1000 calories of olive oil. And then here's some more greens and orange for afterwards. Alright guys, we got a light unpacking here. I don't know what it is, but let's have a look. It's an orange box. Number 1. Number 2 in a weird box. Let's have a look. There we go. This is number 1. I'm so happy this came now, as I said, because the running shoes, you know, they're running to an end. This is the Vaporfly 3. I got it for 170 euros, which is a big old bargain. So this one, it's a carbon shoe. Oh, I love it already. I'm gonna run this for the session today. We run the sessions with worn down shoes, you know, the impact on muscles, just a different sport. So super happy for this one. Do not care about colors whatsoever. Cheapest one wins. Then Number 2, oh, it's actually a Nike. Okay. I didn't even know the color. So Invincible 3, this is my shoe for all the easy ones, all the long runs, mostly for cushioning. Oh, I love those shoes. Invincible. And this one here will be for all the speed work, also quality long runs, because I alternate. 1 week is zone 1, easy fat burning, and 1 week is a quality long run, which has more muscular stimulus and quicker than race pace. So this will be a shoe for that. And this will also be the shoe for Oceanside. Maybe not this one, but this model for the 70.3. For the full Ironman, I'm gonna get the Alpha Flies. Alpha Flies 3 are sold out everywhere, but 4th of April comes a new stack. The ugly ass yellow ones. So I'm gonna get those in the US probably. Then I still have some time to practice with those, but they have the same drop as those. So Nike always has 8mm drop, which really works for me. So this is something you should actually be looking for, because if you change between shoes, and let's say Saucony has mostly 4mm drop, which is the difference from front to back, like the millimeter. That's a completely different load for your calf. So if you change between 4mm drop shoes and 8 back and forth, I'm not sure if that's good, to be honest. So Nike has 8mm, it works for a lot of people. They also think about injury prevention. Works for me, you gotta find what works for you, but whatever you stick to, I think it's a good idea to always have a very, very similar drop in your shoes. So not go 1 week 12mm drop, the other one you go 4. So yeah, that's my take on it. So when it comes to this part of the journey, or like starting a company, the first 2 years are always going to be a challenge financially. So I can cut on pretty much everything. I can cut on my own hair, we do that ourselves, so you save that money. Everything from cinema, all those things, I'm sacrificing all of that. That all costs money, which I don't need. But things I cannot sacrifice on is, for example, running shoes and running shoes quality. So I have no choice but to get the best shoes possible that I can buy at the cheapest price possible, obviously. But those kind of things is just a non-negotiable. Some things are non-negotiable, and some things you just have to say, do I really need this? Do I need to invest in it? So if it's not a clear yes and leading to the performance of my sport and me and my future, it's definitely a clear no, and I'm not doing it. We're on the way to the track now. As you can see, it's still slippery. You're gonna do it there. Forced myself to a nap as well, because I was a bit in a hyped up state, kind of. And that's what I noticed as well when fatigue is high. Only way you really see your fatigue is when you sleep. Of course, there's other ways to recover, but by far the best way. Every single day I nap, if I want to or not, doesn't matter. But I need to shut it down. Otherwise you stay in this kind of hyped up recovery state, like a sympathetic system. For you guys that know, you want to be to recover in the parasympathetic system. So if you're not in that, you're not really recovering. So yeah, but feeling good now. Got nutrition with. Let's go to the track. Man, I'm so happy I got the new shoes. You have no idea what it means to me. Like 2 fresh pair of shoes really is big, especially for a set like this. So it's gonna be a big one, fairly big, but a muscular set. So if you run that on kind of bit broken down shoes, you're just messing up your muscles in a way that's not productive. You want to be nice and tired, but like in a good biomechanical way, not like, you know, run down shoes and then having broken calves after. I'll be doing my usual warm-up routine and everything. I just put on the Invincible 3, the new ones. I can already see the reviews are correct. So heel slippage, I can already feel it with running, with walking. So I really don't know why companies do this. That happens a lot, that they try to make a shoe better and it's literally 50-50 and it makes it worse, you know. That's why in running and triathlon is such a huge thing to, you know, have a shoe sponsor. So yeah. The only one I would consider a shoe sponsor is Nike, to be honest. So for that you need a world championship title and some run records. Otherwise you're not going to be selected. So we'll see with time, but I'll be definitely buying my own shoes and see what works, because let's say you have a high-end shoe that works for you, and then they bring out a new one which you have to wear and might just not work for you and make you injured or something. So what's the purpose of this workout? I did have a bit similar before, but yeah, years ago. It's kind of going through your aerobic ranges. Important it stays aerobic, so my run threshold is around 3:20 or something. So yeah, of course to be world class has to be 3 minutes or under, even for long distance, otherwise you don't have a shot, I believe. If you want to be the best in swim, bike, run, which is my goal, to my potential obviously. But yeah, so we're gonna have a nice 4K warm-up, easy in the Invincible here. Max cushioning with some strides, and probably towards the end, maybe after 3K, I put on the Vaporfly here, so I got used to that as well. I've ran it before once from a friend, but not a fresh pair, so let's see. And then we're gonna rotate 12K continuous, that's important. So my body kind of teaches to break down lactate, but mainly it's like a muscular workout, right? It's continuous, but it's aerobic still, but especially towards the end of the week, because yeah, it's day 7. Again, like I said, I'm gonna shut it down recovery-wise after this. Yesterday I had my last hard day with a hard VO2 max swim, 30-minute run, and a very hard VO2 max bike. So I expect my legs to feel it a bit, which is what I want. But then, yeah, 1K at 3:30 pace. Definitely not quicker, even if I feel good. It's really important that it stays high aerobic, let's say. Even if it's 3:45 or 3:40, I'm not gonna cry, that's all good, but I'm gonna aim for 3:30. Then 3:55, 1K, and then 4K at 4:15. So, and then you repeat that whole thing, that is 6K, repeat that twice, continuous, ending up with 12K. All right, we got 3K done of the warm-up. Heart rate pretty low, which at this case I expect is fatigue. The heart is a muscle, right? So it's fatiguing. But otherwise I feel okay. Muscles, kind of what I expected, how I wanted the session to be. Feel pretty tired because, yeah, yesterday I did 20 minutes over 400 watts, so the legs are kind of worked. But that's the idea. Let's change shoes, one more K, and then we're getting into the big set. So it's gonna be 12K continuous on the track. Mentally, obviously not so interesting, but I never felt like I struggled with that because I kind of break it up into pieces. So for example, the first one, I'm just going to be thinking about the first 1 kilometer, hitting that the right paces, hitting that with the right technique, breathing, all those things. Keep controlled, nothing mad. Then dropping into the 1 kilometer at 3:55 pace, which is my target Ironman pace. And then, yeah, 4:15, so not slow aerobic, but still aerobic. And then repeat that. First impression of shoes, super good. Not slipping anything, feels stable. I had the same with the Hoka too, and downline didn't feel so good. But I have a good feeling with this one. Nike normally works for me really well, so yeah, we're getting into main set. Not gonna be much filming, sorry, because I'm literally gonna be running for 50 minutes something, for 12K, or something like that. And yeah, wish me good luck, picking some nice beats, and let's have fun. I'll check in a bit. Alright, I just finished the set. It was really good. It was really everything I was hoping for. To be honest, it was a lifetime PB. But what's important is that I don't allow myself to go, you know, too high when it's going good and too low when it's going low. At the first K, I did in 3:25 actually, a bit quicker than planned. And yeah, lowest heart rate I've ever had for that kind of pace and effort. And yeah, the rest was good as well. And the last 4K, exactly what I was planning. I'm happy that it turned out this way, because a plan and execution are two different things. But exactly spot on, got some nice deep muscular fatigue. Nothing completely wild that is like killing, but kind of the introduction of a bit the Ironman fatigue in the end. I'm really happy with that. It would never went above the aerobic threshold, only once a little bit, which is insane to think. So my LT1 aerobic threshold is 163 beats per minute heart rate. And yeah, even with a 3:30 pace and 3:25, even with the carbon shoes, and yeah, I didn't even go much over, which is insane to think. So I never had that in my life, but yeah, super happy that the training's paying off so early already. But again, I'm not allowing myself to go too high. Yeah, it will take about 2 years. It's hard to prognose, of course, but 2 years at this rate, I would say, maybe less, who knows, to have a shot at the world title. But yeah, it's all in the journey, you know. One thing I can promise you right now, even if you guys are going to be at the races, like, I adopted this mindset basically from Kobe Bryant. That's something I found really clicked with me, because if you have something, let's say you have a high in life and you're like super high, and then yes, you have to celebrate that for sure, but then you kind of wallow in this high, and then, you know, the next low comes or whatever. So I think the really main thing is that you always try to focus on the work and the process. And yes, let's say I win an Ironman, the next morning I'm gonna get up and train, you know. And after an Ironman, that might be literally a 30-minute zone 1 spin, but it's just about this continuous process. Like Kobe Bryant said, rest at the end, not the middle. And I have luckily 6 to 8 years probably in this sport. So I'm gonna make every single year count and worth, and get everything out of it that I can. Not financially and result-wise, but just like be the best athlete that I can, which is all of us set out to do. But this is not the only way you can actually do it, by, you know, fully committing it. And I'm doing that, and I'm enjoying it. I'm home now. As you can see, I'm making my little omelette as usual, 3-egg omelette with cheese, olive oil in there as well. I think that is, to be honest, a massive breakthrough why the last day has been so good, because I've been at the end of my block. I'm either way, of course, gonna take the rest and all that, but I feel a lot fresher than, for example, last week, even a couple days ago. And the only thing that's explainable, because I've been training the same, doing all the same, is nutrition. I upped a little bit the sports nutrition in the session. For example, the key swim at 80 grams width instead of 60. Small changes like that. And then in the diet, I mainly added a bit more oils and a bit more fats, like healthy fats, olive oil, and a bit of cheese as well. But yeah, just for calories, and that made all the difference. So I'm gonna smash that with some breads and avocado, rest a bit, and then we're hopping on the bike. Alrighty, before we're going here on the bike, I gotta show you something. Something came in the mail. Alrighty, so I have not unpacked this yet. Let's have a look what it is. It's not unrealistic to say this little box is gonna save me 5 to 10 minutes over the Ironman distance on the bike. Not unrealistic. So let's have a look what it is. Paper. Here. Jesus. Okay. There we go. Doesn't look like much. So German engineering actually, and tested and all those things. So I'm gonna show you where this goes and why it's gonna make me faster. Alrighty, so where this devil here goes, at the one problem with the Canyon bike is the reach. So as you can see, I already tried to optimize that before. With the bike fitter back then, we actually here only have one screw in for this part, so we have more reach to the front. Anyways, this thing fixes that, so I got 50mm more reach and a 15-degree angle. So this one will go here, depending on the height, we'll see. But then the whole thing is kind of a bit like that. And here you see a lot of pro Canyon triathletes. They have up to 80mm reach, but I think that's a bit overkill, and also safety-wise. Not sure, the guy that made this is also not sure if that's a very good idea. Anyways, for now, 50mm. Alright guys, I'm gonna be hopping on the bike now. 1 hour at 260 watts, something like that. Not gonna be easy, for the muscles especially, system-wise probably, but you never know how it's gonna be. But it's a zone 2 ride, and that's my last ride of this second block. Then it's gonna be 3 days easy, absorbing everything before we hit the gas again with a lot of hard work coming up. Thanks for following along. If you enjoyed this type of content, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in next week's video. Ciao!